Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back for a video series. Now this is going to be part 1 of 7. I'm going to try and aim to release 1 a week, but the whole purpose of this is I want to see if we can make an all epic Hydra team and just see how far we can push it in terms of numbers. So yep, this is going to be video number 1, and today we're going to go over, arguably I think, in my opinion at least, the best DPS epic in the entire game. Hands down. Let's get it. Guys, just letting you know, there is a new player promo link. It'll be waiting for you in the pinned comment as well as the description of this video. It's going to get you off to a solid head start in raid with the likes of Elenaril, Fayne, Uugo and Tagoar as you level up your account. Here's what you need to do. You'll want to log out of Plarium Play on your PC and uninstall the game. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email address. Launch raid, complete your tutorial, go to your inbox and claim your first free champion. Like I say, this is a good one, you don't want to miss it. So here he is. Today we are going over Fenax and we're going to talk about what makes him really good, and we're going to use him in a little bit of content, see what he's doing. You know, what more is there to say about this guy than he is just absolutely fantastic. He's one of the hardest hitters probably in the entire game, and that includes some mythicals. He's a pretty cool looking champion. Some say he looks a little bit like Nub Raids. I guess I can kind of see it. Give it a few years, Nubs, you might look like that. So let's quickly go over his kit. I think the reason that most people will know him and probably fear him is because of his A1. Attacks one enemy and basically hits them twice if they've got any debuffs, and if they die, they're out of the game. Simple, very nice, we like it. Very good for going against Wukong and Death Knight teams. If you know, you know. So that's his A1, it is just incredibly powerful. His A2 has a 75% which books to 80% chance of placing block buffs on the target. This is AoE, so like I say, we are essentially building an all epic Hydra team. This is going to be incredibly useful. His A3 attacks one enemy, 60% chance of placing decreased speed and decreased defense. Very cool. Now it's a shame none of this is on 100%, but he is an epic, so you know, you can't really have it all. Now, I am lucky that I actually bought his 6-star ascension. I think he's worthy. He's definitely good enough. And I think if you're at 6-star, the only way to go is Crushing Rend. If you're maybe 1 to 5-star, I would probably opt to go with something like Nature's Wrath. He does put out debuffs, so it's very much worth using this blessing just to try and boost any damage you can get out of him. Because ultimately, A, you always want your champions to hit harder, and B, if you're in Hydra, there really is no upper limit on stats. You know, you can just keep building, keep min-maxing. The better your champs are, the higher your numbers will be. It's very simple. That's his kit. I will quickly go over his masteries. So just quickly off camera, I have actually just redone his masteries. It's been so long since I did them that they just weren't looking quite right for Hydra. So what I've gone for is Helm Smasher. We are using an ignored defense style set on him, so any chance of increasing that is always a good thing. It's going to lead to much bigger numbers. Basically, we're just doing the offense tree. I've gone for Life Drinker, just in case anyone's health gets low, he's going to give himself a little bit of a heal. It's Hydra, anything to survive is kind of going to be your friend. The other side of things is the support tree. I've gone for some accuracy because ultimately he does put out debuffs. I've also gone for Arcane Celerity because you never know, anything to boost his turn meter and get more A1s out of him is never a bad thing. We've gone for Law of Steel because why not? We've gone Cycle of Magic because I just want as many chances to put out block buffs as possible on the enemy team. We've gone Sniper because he doesn't have a 100% chance to place any of his debuffs on his A2, so this just ups that a little bit. And we've gone Master Hexer just so that we can essentially extend the duration of the debuffs he puts out. Pretty simple, quite a bog standard DPS build. It's just damage and accuracy. So let's go for a build. What are we going to need? At the end of the day, he is a DPS, so we're going to want something that ignores defense. Maybe something like Savage, Savage Cruel. He probably would work in Merciless. There's all sorts of sets you could use on him, but we're looking for something that ignores defense because he just hits so freaking hard. Another thing that we're going to want to consider is we are using him as a debuffer, so he is going to need accuracy. One last thing to consider, because this is going to be going into a Hydra team and I can't rely on any of my legendaries to essentially boost everyone's resistance, I am going to factor a little bit of resistance into his build just so that he doesn't get constantly provoked or poisoned in the Hydra. So I'm just going to put a little build together now. Let's see what we can do. Right, here we go. I've actually gone for a Savage Cruel build. Now, I have tried to kind of factor in a little bit of survivability. I've given him quite a lot of HP. I had to sacrifice quite a lot of attack to get it, but ultimately we want to go into Hydra. We're going to need it. I managed to get 275 resist on him with 234 accuracy. Hopefully it will be enough for the stages that we're trying to do, but he's kind of going to be a backup debuffer because, as you'll see as we move further in the series, I'm going to have other debuffers on the squad. So I think this is going to set him up in a really, really good place. He's incredibly powerful. He's got a lot of attack, loads of crit damage, and he's nice and fast for Hydra. So let's take him for a spin. Let's see what he can do. Outside of Hydra, one of my favorite applications for Fenax is handling Sun Wukong in the arena, especially when he's teamed with Ultimate Death Knight. As you'll know, any hit on Ultimate Death Knight, basically he takes it. If I target Armans with a single hit, UDK is going to get hit. Same with Elva, same with Wukong. However, using Fenax's A1 and how it double hits on debuffs, what we're going to do now is we're going to see, I'll put it on 1 speed. I'm going to target Wukong, and instead of just Death Knight taking the hit, obviously Fenax is going to hit twice, and he is going to put Wukong out of the game. Let's watch that. Boom, block revive. He's done. He's completely out of the game, and we are in business. We'll see it again in another team, exactly the same composition. We've got UDK and Wukong. It just makes getting through the UDK so much quicker. It takes Wukong out of the game. You just kind of love to see it. There we go. Double block revive there because the Death Knight did not have a chance. It's such a fun combination, and we all know that Wukong can be a complete pain when he just bounces back and just one-shots your entire team. There's a lot of application. I like any champion that fills multiple roles. That's just kind of what you're looking for, especially when it comes to a Hydra team. You could just bring in single-use champs. If you want to get the most out of your team, you're definitely going to want to bring multi-use champions. Fenax is a debuffer and an absolute nutty DPS. So here we go. Where else can we use him? I've just thrown him into a dragon team here. This is stage 1 on hard mode. I've brought in Donatello, Lydia, and actually Philia, who's another one of my all-time favorite epics. Not going to be in the Hydra team, but she's incredibly good as a champion. I'm just going to show you here. Here's A2. Now, it's not the world's biggest hit, but at the end of the day, it's debuffing pretty much everyone, as you'll see there, and it's quite a solid hit. So I'm just going to go through the waves and we'll see what he does when we get to the boss. Right, boss time. Now, I'm just going to make sure everyone's got their skills ready, so I'm going to use Donatello's reset here. Let's just bring everyone up to speed. So we're just going to debuff, and let's see what his A1 can do against the dragon. This guy hits really hard. Check this. Boom, that is a solid hit taken away. He's just such an incredible single target DPS. You just kind of can't go wrong. Gonna block the buffs on the dragon, and we're just gonna go back in with the A1 on Fenax. It's massive. It's such a big hit. Now, obviously, he is in incredibly strong gear. Ultimately, my account is quite endgame. It is quite difficult to actually scale the builds back. Plus, I want to show you what you can eventually aim for. If you keep building your champions right, this is going to kind of become normal for you. He's not in my best gear, he's just in pretty good gear. So as you can see, he is happily chunking away at the dragon. Philia's doing big hits as well. Another big hit. Boom. It's just massive. He does so much damage. It's actually criminal for an epic. So we'll just finish this off. I'll just keep doing A1s with Fenax. And there we go. Dragon 1 hard down. He's just such a versatile champion. So you can actually use him in all sorts of dungeons. He's really good for the Ice Golem's Peak because he can block revive the boss's adds. That means when the boss does hit you back, it's not going to hurt anywhere near as much. Fire Knight, I think you probably could use him providing you had a fast enough team. I would probably pick a multi-hitter though, rather than just using Fenax. And he will do very good work in Spider. You will also find use in Sand Devil as well as Phantom Shogun. As I said at the beginning of this video, this is going to be essentially how to build a Hydra team using epics. Now, I don't want to give spoilers for this one, so I'm just going to run one of my more normal teams. And I put one together earlier for Brutal, and that is him here. He is going to be debuffing and damaging. That's kind of all I want him to do. If we look at the presets, I think I've taken away his A3 because other people in the team can actually do it for us. But let's just throw it on auto and let's just look at the sort of numbers he's capable of putting out. So the team's going to buff up and get us ready to cause maximum nuisance to the enemy. And here he goes. Look at that A1. That's just huge. Half the health down already, and we've only just started. It's such a solid skill. I absolutely love this champion. If you are kind of struggling for a DPS and you want to get real good results out of someone without having to put crazy gear on them, Fenax is a really solid choice. We look here, he's only hit that head twice and it is nearly dead. It's just perfect. We're going to extend some buffs. I don't think we need to throw any provokes out yet, because I don't think that head's up. We're just going to get rid of this head, and then we'll see what Fenax can do against a decapitated head. And spoiler alert, it's kind of crazy. So let's just get some debuffs out if anyone's got any. I don't think we have, but here we go. No decreased defense, no weaken. That's a 1.5 million hit. It's just brilliant. See him do it again. Oh, wrong champ. There he goes. Boom. That was like over 2.5 million that time. He is utterly disgusting, and if you are not using him, you need to use him. He's actually so worth it. I'm always looking for a new epic to kind of just bolster the ranks of my teams, and if you've got him, do it. Just do it. He's too good not to use. So rather than letting this whole entire run play out, what I am actually going to do is I'm going to exit out and I'm going to do a quick battle, because I just want to see what the numbers are going to become. I've not used him in a Hydra team like this before, and I'm really intrigued to see if he's going to out DPS the other DPS on this team. Obviously, we've got a Harima as well as a Michinaki, so we will see. I'm going to exit this, we'll do a quick battle, and we'll see what he can do. He has gone the whole way. The team did work. We didn't lose anyone by the looks of things. But look, as you can see here, Fenax did the most damage by a long shot. 155 million. That is huge for an epic, especially for a single target epic. Michinaki did 82, but I bet a lot of that damage is actually from Fenax. It's just the way that Hex works. And he totally beat Harima, who's in an absolutely crazy build. And you know what? That is a very good key for me on Brutal. I'm actually going to keep the result of that. I'm pretty happy. 1 billion clash points. That should get us a few nice rewards. And then we get that weird moment where you think, oh God, is that key actually going to lock in, or is the game going to crash on me? But there you go. That is champion number 1 of my All Epic Hydra team. Thank you very much for watching. More videos to come. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.